So it's about a week after the Back to the Future Blu-ray came out, and I know there's a bazillion reviews of that on the net right now, so I'm not going to bore you with mine. But the film came out on October 26, 2010, which happens to be the same date that Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox's character, goes back in time in the original Back to the Future. He goes back accidentally to the year 1955, as we all know. And in the lead up to this Blu-ray release, there was a lot of excitement and talk and nostalgia, and people were saying, I'm going to run out and get the films and enjoy them in high def, and that's all well and good. I'm a huge fan, like a lot of people my age. I'm 32, and as you can tell, I'm sitting in my DeLorean and I've got my puffy vest for this video. But I thought it would be more fun, rather than watch the movie for the umpteenth time, to do something a little more interesting, maybe something a little more offbeat. And I hadn't really figured out what that was at first. I knew I didn't want my mom to try and make out with me. That's just creepy. But what I did come down to was the idea that it would be fun to go to a shopping mall in the middle of the night, 1:15 in the morning, and race the DeLorean around. And I thought, well, doing that by myself would be really strange. What would make this even better? And then I thought, well, what would really be fun is if I could get a VW microbus to chase me around the parking lot at exactly the same date and time that Michael J. Fox went back in time in the original film. So this was kind of like a harebrained scheme, and I thought, no one's going to get involved in this. This is just a geek just freaking out. But it kind of panned out. So enjoy.
It was in a lady's backyard. It was a friend of mine's sister's car. She had got it in high school, basically, from the original owner, and had these grand intentions of taking it up to Boston with her when she went off to college. But life happened, and there it sat in her mother's backyard since '91, so for at least a decade or more. It has personality. I mean, it's such a unique design in today's world. I mean, you just don't see things with this kind of style, or even chrome, for that matter of fact. Actually, it's a popular vehicle internationally, so I mean, it made sense that they would get something like that here, because I'm sure it was something they had over there. If you're not good with a stick, you will stall it out just like they did.
Go! Don't shove it, gun!
The suspension is not real stiff, so it's going to sway on you. Which I think they had an issue with that too, trying to make the turns and keep up with the DeLorean. That wasn't going to be easy. They rent the Westphalias for, even today, you can go rent them. There's a place here in Georgia that rents them out.
All right.
You can get them for a weekend, sure.
That's one of my, I want the car, but I also want to just go somewhere where they have no necessary destination, and not say I'm making hotel reservations or anything, just sort of drive. It sounds like a good place to stop and crash in the back of the van.
We've been around for almost 4 years now, about 3.5 years. I started it. It's a club that I started, just because there wasn't anything out in the area where I wanted to be, and I know there was a lot of Volkswagens out, and I come from motorcycles, and motorcycles, you always get together, and you got a club, and you go ride, and
Right.
I figured why not do it with these cars. So I set up the first meet. We had 6 bucks turn out.
This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
And it just grew real quick from there, and we've got about between 50 and 60 members now.
It worked!
My favorite was my 67 split window bus.
What happened to that?
Should have never got rid of it. I sold it. Big mistake.
What is the driving experience like as a VW owner? What's it like to be a VW owner?
Very laid back.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful. You get to enjoy the drive more. They're not fast cars,
Mm-hmm.
but you realize real quick that doesn't matter. You get to it's more of a happiness vehicle, I call it. It don't matter where you go, anybody sees it, they smile.
You guys that were dedicated enough to come out here at 1:15 in the morning, what's behind that besides just pure kindness?
Fun. It's supporting the hobby and helping out with something like this. I mean, which is another bringing in the DeLorean, I mean, that's just another iconic car that, you know, people love to see. So you bring the two of them together, and then for a great movie, I mean, why would you not be here?
In the 80s, it's sort of a lot of different things, but mainly, you know, by the Jackie, you can probably tell it's Michael Jackson. I love listening, you know, going even back to, you know, like Jackson 5 stuff, and then listening to, you know, everything from Thriller up to, you know, Bad and beyond, and just hearing how much music changed in such a short span of time. It went beyond making good music and taking that music and making it a visually appealing thing, so it wasn't just listening to it, you were seeing it as well.
It's not mine. Shit.
Even as I've gotten older and sort of progressed into being a musician of sorts, you know, the Johnny B. Good scene is still something that I look back on and go, you know, that's a good job right there.
Oh my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
Run for it, Marty!
Who?
Who do you think? The Libyans!
Holy
Shit!
I don't know, it's unique, and things these days are kind of boring, so it keeps it interesting. It's not it's good. It's really
She takes
good.
me to enough events like this where I can talk to other people about it and she can put up with it at home.
To be honest, I've never sat down and put it in and watched it, but if I ever find it on the TV, I get stoked.
It's a classic.
Like, when I like sit, like they have marathons all day, I'm like, yeah, Back to the Future.
Oh, no. Gotta get back in time. Gotta get back in time. Get back, get back. Get back, Marty.
I love Pepsi Throwback because it has this sensational sensation in your mouth, and when you drink it, it makes it all bubble inside, and then it comes out in big, wonderful sounds.
I don't know, it's made with real sugar. So it's just got I don't really like regular Pepsi, but Pepsi Throwback is surprisingly addictive. So whatever's different, it might be the crack, but it's good.